Okay, one type of graph you see a lot in magazines are piecewise graphs or piecewise functions. You probably never knew they had a name. Sometimes they're called broken graphs. So this piecewise function we're going to look at is the function of x, and then we want x minus 1 if x is less than or equal to 3, but I want f of x equal -1 if x is going to be greater than 3. So I probably need a table in here. Let's grab a quick table and put that in here. So here what we can get to it. Okay, so we've got our x. We're going to have our f of x. And so we want to know what's going to happen when x is less than 3 and when x is greater than 3. So let's start at -1, and then we'll move to 0, and then we'll move on to 1, and we'll look at 2. Oops, 2. We're going to look at 3. We'll look at 4. And we'll look at 5. That gives us some values above and below 3. So if x is less than or equal to 3, that would be less than or equal to 3, everything from here down to there. And that's it. So that would be all the ones less than or equal to 3. In those cases, I want x minus 1. So this is going to be right here, -1. -1 is less than or equal to 3. So I want to take -1 minus 1, and I'm going to get a -2. 0. 0 is less than or equal to 3. So I'm going to put 0 minus 1, and 0 minus 1 is a -1. 1 is less than or equal to 3. This is true. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So that's going to be 0. 2 is 2 less than or equal to 3. Yep, 2 is less than or equal to 3. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Then I've got 3. 3 is less than or equal to 3. Well, 3 is equal to 3, so this is our last value. 3 minus 1 is 2, so this is going to be a 2. Now I'm at 4. 4 is now greater than 3. So here I just want the value of -1. And 5 is greater than 3. So again, I just want the value of -1. So let's take a look at what that graphs and looks like when we graph it. So I want -1, -2. So -1, -2. I want 0, -1. I want 1, 0. I want 2, 1. And I want 3, 2. And that is definitely a circle there. Then anything greater than 3. So from this point on, I want it to be at -1. My y value is going to be at -1. So I'm going to have an open circle here, and everything else is at -1. Where everything before that was part of this line. So my final graph, and let's change that so it matches everything else, and we'll make the end is what I want, and make these bigger. Okay. So I want open circle at 3 here, a closed circle at 3 up here. This is part of my line because this is where x is less than or equal to 3. And this is part of this line here because this is where x is greater than 3. So piecewise just means you have pieces of graphs that you put together into one graph. You could have 2 lines, you could have 3 lines, you could have 7 lines. Doesn't matter how many lines of data you have in here. Piecewise just means that you are taking and making parts of graphs and putting them together in the same graph.